What was your first encounter with utter bullshit during your childhood? I was an easy target in elementary school. Not in a cute, harmless way, but in the kind of way that made every recess and lunch a gauntlet. 4 boys in particular seemed to have made it their personal mission to make my life miserable. I don't think they had any deep reasons. Just the typical kid cruelty. Pushing, teasing, chasing me around the playground, making every day a battle to get through. One day in 5th grade, things went especially sideways. We were outside for recess and, as usual, those 4 boys were after me. I was running, trying to keep away from their sneers and grabs. That's when the teacher assigned to supervise the playground, Mrs. D, noticed me running. She came over and grabbed my arm. "Stop running," she said sharply. "You're making trouble." I was confused but obedient, so I stopped moving. No more running, no more trying to get away from the boys. But the moment I stood still, the 4 boys closed in, shoving me and whispering insults. The whole situation quickly turned worse. I felt trapped and helpless, so I started running again, hoping to get away. That's when Mrs. D snapped. She grabbed me roughly by the arm again and pulled me aside. Without a word, she started paddling me. Not a gentle tap either. She swung hard enough to sting. The first strike missed my bottom and hit the back of my legs. I yelped in shock. She swung again and I couldn't help it. I swore at her. She stopped immediately, eyes wide with outrage. "To the principal's office," she barked. I trudged to the office, heart pounding, trying to explain what had happened. They were bullying me, and when I stopped running, they just pushed me. I was trying to get away. The principal, Mr. G, listened quietly. After I finished, he shook his head. "You need to learn to obey the teachers," he said. "Running when you're told to stop is not acceptable." Then, without much more ado, he told me to stand up. I did, still feeling the sting on my legs and trying to hold back tears. The principal raised a paddle, a wooden one, polished and heavy, and told me to take 3 licks. I swallowed hard and bent over his desk. Each strike was sharp and painful. The world suddenly felt very unfair. I hadn't done anything wrong. I was the one being hurt and chased, yet I was being punished for trying to survive. That day was when I first really learned that the world could be utter bullshit. The rest of that school year was a blur of trying to avoid those boys, dodging the unpredictable anger of the teachers, and just surviving until the final bell. I never told my parents. I didn't want them to know how badly things were going, or that I was being punished for something that wasn't my fault. Looking back, it's a hard memory to sit with. It wasn't just the bullying or the unfair punishment. It was the total lack of protection from the people who were supposed to keep us safe. The adults saw what was happening, but chose to blame me instead. And worse, they made sure I knew it was my fault for trying to escape. 5th grade taught me more than just math or spelling. It taught me that sometimes, no matter how much you try to do the right thing, the system can be stacked against you. It showed me that people in power don't always use it to help those who need it most. That lesson stayed with me for a long time, but it also made me stronger. It taught me to stand up, even when the odds are against me. It taught me to find ways to protect myself because sometimes, no one else will. The bullying didn't stop immediately after that, but I learned how to navigate it differently. And eventually, as we got older and changed schools, those 4 boys lost interest. The adults never did fully see the damage they caused that year, but I carried it with me in silence. 5th grade was the year I learned about real injustice. Not the kind you read about in books or hear on the news. The kind that happens in the small, everyday moments where you're just a kid trying to survive. That memory still hits me sometimes, but I also hold on to the fact that I made it through. Even when the world was utter bullshit, I didn't let it break me.